Mark Grayson, also known as is a half-Viltrumite, half-human powerhouse, destined to become the strongest being in the entire Viltrumite race, thanks to his unique human DNA. This is a hero whose potential is literally written in his genes. Today, we're tackling a question that every anime fan has debated at some point. Can Invincible actually take on your top 10 favorite new generation anime protagonists? Or will he be outmatched? So, the 10 characters we're breaking down in this ultimate showdown are Denji from Chainsaw Man, Deku from My Hero Academia, Ano's Voldigoad from the Misfit of Demon King Academy, Itadori Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen, Saitama from One Punch Man, Asta from Black Clover, Hibino Kafka from Kaiju No. 8, Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan, Mash Burnedead from Mashal, Demon King Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. This is going to be an intense one versus one showdown. Invincible versus each of these incredible anime heroes. Now, here's the key thing. We're only considering Invincible up to Season 3. Why? Because the comic version of Invincible is far more experienced, trained, and overpowered. He'd dominate most of these fights instantly. So we're keeping things fair and exciting. And of course, we're picking each anime protagonist at their absolute peak form. That means every single one of them is entering the battlefield with an unfair advantage. Why do we do this? Because peak comic Invincible is ridiculously powerful. And if we didn't give the anime heroes their best, there'd be no suspense at all. So, without wasting another second, let's jump straight into this ultimate anime versus comic showdown and see who really comes out on top. So we're going to start this battle from the strongest, and we'll end with the weakest character on the list. And trust me, the ending of this entire showdown is going to shock you. So stick with me till the very end. At number 10, we have Ano's Voldigoad. Now listen, if you genuinely think Season 3 Invincible is even remotely close to this monster, bro, you seriously need to go back and watch the anime again. Ano's Voldigoad can literally alter reality. If Anos wants to, he can erase not just Invincible, but the entire Viltrumite race from existence, without lifting a finger, just by thinking about it. Because he's not just strong, he's a literal god-tier being. So, Invincible versus Ano's Voldigoad? That's not a fight. That's straight-up embarrassment. Even for peak Mark Grayson. At number 9, we have Saitama. And honestly, I've never seen a more broken, more absurdly overpowered gag character in my entire life. This man is called One Punch Man for a reason. He only needs one punch to delete any version of Mark Grayson from existence. And yes, Saitama can kill any Viltrumite with a single punch too. This is the same guy who destroyed Jupiter with nothing but a sneeze. So if a sneeze can nuke a planet, one casual handclap from Saitama could wipe out the entire Viltrumite empire without even trying. Now, since we've talked about two characters who would absolutely dog-walk Invincible without effort, let's move toward characters who might actually face some difficulty while fighting Mark Grayson. Because from here onward, things get interesting. At number 8, we have Asta. Asta is the magicless beast of Black Clover, the kid who was born with 0 mana in a world where even a baby has more magical talent than him. But that disadvantage is exactly what makes him one of the most dangerous protagonists of the entire new generation. Asta's entire power system revolves around one thing: anti-magic. Not magic, not energy, not Kai. Literally anti-magic. A force that erases, cuts, nullifies, and cancels out anything even slightly supernatural. And once he gets his Devil Union and Zeton training, this ability becomes absolutely busted. Let me run through his major manga feats so you understand how crazy he really is. Asta can cancel any magical ability, including reality warping, soul manipulation, fate manipulation, and time magic. Use Devil Union, which coats his entire body in anti-magic and massively boosts his speed, strength, and perception. Wield multiple anti-magic swords that can delete spells, slash open dimensions, negate hacks, and erase magical constructs on contact. Execute Zeton, a high-speed counter-slash technique that hits the exact weak point of any attack. Fight and keep up with characters who move at light speed and above. Completely react to and counter multiple paladins and Lucius's clones, beings designed to be broken. Asta has also survived spatial severing attacks that delete anything they touch, massive magic bombs, and wide-range reality warping magic. His durability, combined with anti-magic's passive nullification, makes him extremely hard to put down. Now, let's talk about why this is horrible news for Invincible. Why Asta beats. Invincible relies on his Viltrumite healing factor, his insane physical durability, his biological enhancement, his superior strength and flight burst speed, his ability to get back up even after getting torn apart. But Asta is the worst possible matchup for him because Invincible's entire physiology counts as enhanced power, and anti-magic treats any form of unnatural strength as a cancelable ability. Asta doesn't have to overpower Mark, he just has to touch him. The moment Asta's sword lands even a small cut, Mark's regeneration shuts off, his flight stabilizers get disrupted, his biological enhancement gets erased, his strength drops instantly, and Invincible turns into a regular strong human with no supernatural buffs. Mark tries to blitz. Asta uses Zeton to read the motion and cut straight through it. Mark tries brute force punches. Anti-magic cancels the boosted force behind those punches. Mark tries to tank hits like he always does. Asta's swords bypass durability entirely because they're not damaging the body. They're erasing the power that protects the body. And once Asta enters Devil Union, the gap widens even more. His speed spikes, his perception spikes. His anti-magic becomes so dense that even getting close to him makes Invincible's powers unstable. Mark can't out-heal. He can't out-durability. He can't out-stat his way through this matchup. Asta doesn't just beat Invincible. He counters his entire species. So yeah, at number 8, Asta takes this fight with a clean anti-magic Zeton finisher. At number 7, we have Kafka Hibino, also known as Kaiju number 8. Before we discuss whether he can take on Invincible, let's go through his actual feats, because this man is built different. Kafka, as Kaiju number 8, becomes a walking natural disaster. His strength, speed, durability, and instincts all shoot through the roof the moment he transforms. Strength. Kafka has shown multi-city block to small city-level power. His punches create massive shockwaves that tear through armored kaiju, creatures already classified as national threats. He has split giant centipede kaiju in half using pure brute force, and he casually destroys reinforced military structures like they're paper. Speed. Kafka moves at hypersonic speeds in combat. He blitzes elite defense force officers, who can already track supersonic projectiles. He covers huge distances instantly, and even precision-type kaiju failed to react to his movements. Durability and regeneration. Kafka tanks specialized explosives meant to kill dragon-class kaiju. He survives energy blasts, crushing attacks, slicing strikes, and still stays in the fight. His regeneration is insane. He can grow back large portions of his body mid-battle without slowing down. Combat ability. Kafka's instincts in kaiju form are razor-sharp. He fights like a seasoned martial artist mixed with a wild apex predator, optimizing every movement and every angle to deal maximum damage. Now the real question, can Kafka beat Season 3 Mark Grayson? And honestly, yes. Kafka absolutely dog-walks Invincible. First reason, Kafka hits way harder than anyone Mark has faced in Season 3. Mark gets injured by mid-tier Viltrumites. Kafka's raw destructive power is far above anything Mark has tanked so far. One clean hit from Kafka can break Mark's guard instantly. Second, Kafka's regeneration is superior. Mark heals slowly. Kafka regenerates during the fight. Even if Mark lands blows, Kafka just heals through them and keeps pushing forward. Third, Kafka's combat speed overwhelms Mark. Season 3, Mark is still far from relativistic and gets tagged by opponents slower than Kafka. Kafka blitzes trained hypersonic fighters. Mark simply cannot react in time. Fourth, mindset. Kafka does not hesitate when fighting a threat. Mark still holds back, still struggles emotionally. Against someone who hits like a living missile, hesitation is a death sentence. Conclusion. Kafka Hibino doesn't just beat Mark Grayson. He destroys him, dominates him, and leaves zero chance for a comeback. Season 3 Mark has no win condition against Kaiju number 8. At number 6, we have our boobs-loving protagonist, Denji, the Chainsaw Demon. Yeah, that's right. The hungry, scrappy devil hunter who went from scraping by on pocket change to becoming the strongest devil in existence. But before we jump into whether he can take on Invincible, let's talk about his feats. Strength? Denji is absurd. Early on in Chapter 13, we saw him punch the Bat Devil right through walls, completely destroying the room and sending the Bat Devil flying. Later in Chapter 25, he caught and threw a car like it was a tennis ball. showing small building-level strength. As the Chainsaw Devil in Chapter 86, he kicked elite assassins through 5 buildings in a single blow. And his heart? In Chapter 88, he literally hurled his heart at asteroid-level speeds, creating impacts comparable to 5 to 16 kilotons of TNT. Speed? Denji's reaction times are insane. In Chapter 27, during his fight against the Gunfiend, he was already faster than bullets, saving civilians and allies mid-battle. Later, in Chapter 96, we saw Denji saving Kobeni from Makima's light-speed spear attack, which clearly shows he moves faster than light. He can go from 0 to 54,000 miles per hour in a blink, dodge point-blank attacks, and create explosive kinetic force just by moving. Basically, you cannot see him coming. Durability? Forget it. Denji has some of the craziest durability in the series. In Chapter 26, he was cut in half by Katana Man, yet he regenerated and returned to full strength in later chapters. In Chapter 67, Post-Hell Resurrection, he survived being set on fire, crashed through at least 13 concrete floors, and kept fighting against Dark Santa Claus. In Chapter 48, during the Bomb Devil fight, he took massive explosions head-on and survived, regenerating immediately afterward. His regeneration combined with blood consumption gives him effectively infinite stamina, as we saw in Chapter 54 against the Eternity Devil, where he fought non-stop for 3 days. Abilities? Denji's not just swinging chainsaws. In Chapter 97, he used his reality-erasing powers to obliterate devils completely, removing their names and existence from the world. In Chapter 67, he fought in Hell itself against Dark Santa Claus, showing he can operate in extreme dimensions and environments. With blood consumption, Denji can heal from nearly any deadly injury, giving him practically endless endurance. Now, let's talk about why Denji would defeat Mark Grayson. Invincible is strong, supersonic, planetary-level durability, and trained by the Viltrumites. But he has no reality-bending powers, no lightspeed reactions, and no infinite regeneration. Denji would dodge every attack, strike faster than Mark can react, and survive even the most powerful hits Invincible throws his way. By the time Mark even lands a punch, Denji would be across the city, regenerating from a previous strike and preparing his next attack. Add in heart-throwing, chainsaw combos, and reality erasure, and Mark Grayson doesn't stand a chance. In short, when it comes to a fight between full Chainsaw Devil Denji and Invincible Season 3, the winner is Chainsaw Devil Denji. No contest. Speed, strength, regeneration, and abilities all tilt heavily in his favor. At number 5, we have Burnedead, the lost son of Saitama. Why am I even putting him here? Because just like his dad, Mash is absurdly broken. He's a gag character, which means rules literally don't apply to him. And in a straight-up fight, he's absolutely winning, or at least making it hilarious. Let's break down the unreal feats that make Mash a serious contender, even against Season 3 Mark Grayson. First, speed. Mash's unlimited physical mode lets him move faster than sound, faster than light, and even faster than clothes can react to him. He blitzes opponents at over 61 times the speed of sound, dodging attacks before they register, and can chain movements without losing momentum, thanks to inertia defiance, a technique he mastered even as a crawling infant. Next, strength. Mash can lift wands of absurd mass, turn them into baseball bats, and block attacks capable of destroying countries. He casually outmatches opponents who could level mountains, and yes, he once dislocated his father's shoulders by accident. And that's just him being polite. Then, flight and mobility. Mash doesn't need magic to fly. He kicks the air so hard he defies gravity. He can maneuver midair, stabilize with perfect core control, and strike opponents from impossible angles. During exams and battles, he routinely outpaces brooms, outruns sound, and moves faster than any spectator can perceive. Reflexes and precision? Mash outran Macron, a character literally embodying sound, at 61 times the speed of sound, while simultaneously dunking his hand in tartar sauce to prevent intangibility. He even catches attacks with his eyelids. Let that sink in. Durability? He manipulates his muscle fibers to resist sharp objects and internal organ damage, uses breakfall techniques to nullify fall damage, and adapts to any threat. His density manipulation allows him to survive hits that would pulverize mountains or entire regions. Finally, Mash's mental suppression is a game changer. When he removes his subconscious blocks, he blitzes multiple dooms at full power, while still reserving energy for the main antagonist. That's multi-opponent FTL combat, with raw strength capable of small country-level destruction. Now, compare that to Season 3 Mark Grayson. Mark is strong, durable, and can fly, yes. He can survive planetary-level destruction. But MASH doesn't follow conventional rules. He breaks physics, ignores limits, and turns every gag into a weapon. In a fight, MASH's speed outclasses Mark's reaction time in hand-to-hand combat. His strength hits harder than Mark has likely ever faced. And with his creativity and gag abilities, every conventional strategy Mark uses can backfire hilariously. In a universe where gag characters break the rules of physics, MASH Burnedead is basically Saitama 2.0. He's faster, stronger, unkillable by logic, and absurdly hilarious, which makes him a legitimate threat to Season 3 Invincible. So if you thought Saitama was broken, wait until you see his son at full power. MASH is the cheat code we didn't know we needed. At number 4, we have Deku. So Deku has fully mastered One for All as the 9th user, gaining not only the stockpiled strength, speed, and durability of all previous wielders, but also 6 incredible support quirks. He has Black Whip, which allows him to swing across the battlefield, grab enemies, and control momentum. Float lets him mimic flight and maneuver freely. Danger Sense functions like Spider-Man's precognition, alerting him to attacks before they happen. Smokescreen obscures vision across wide areas, perfect for tactical advantage. Fajin stores kinetic energy, exponentially boosting his punches. And Gear Shift is the real game changer, giving him the ability to accelerate anything he touches, including himself, to light speed level bursts, while ignoring inertia, gravity, and drag. Combine these abilities with full cowl 120%, and Deku is capable of feats that rival or surpass Prime All Might. He can deliver quintuple 120% punches, powerful enough to destroy Nomu, alter weather patterns globally, and obliterate islands. He has hypersonic reactions, dodging sniper bullets from over 200 kilometers away, and can multitask 6 quirks in combat, predicting enemy movements and using his intelligence to turn the tide even when injured. Now, how does he match up against Season 3 Invincible? Mark Grayson is a half Viltrumite with planet-level strength, extreme durability, and incredible regenerative abilities. He can survive attacks that would destroy cities and crush planets, making him one of the toughest opponents in any universe. Deku, however, is not just raw power. His anti-strategy capabilities, multi-quirk synergy, and speed bursts from Gear Shift allow him to dodge, counter, and control the battlefield. His punches, enhanced by Fajin, can rival Invincible's planetary-level attacks, and his intelligence gives him the edge to predict and exploit openings. In a fight, Deku could potentially outmaneuver and overwhelm Invincible, landing decisive blows with combined quirk techniques. But if Invincible manages to weather the bursts and close the distance, his sheer durability and regenerative speed could allow him to survive Deku's attacks and strike back with overwhelming force. So the battle is a clash of raw Viltrumite power versus quirk mastery, strategy, and versatility, and the outcome could turn either way depending on the situation. At number 3, we have Itadori Yuji. So Yuji has all the makings of one of the strongest sorcerers in Jujutsu Kaisen. He's physically insane, capable of punching through massive pillars of concrete, throwing Sukuna across buildings, and surviving attacks that would tear normal humans apart. His Black Flash mastery allows him to amplify every hit, distorting space, and temporarily increasing his stats with every strike. On top of that, Yuji can cut through both body and soul with techniques like Cleave and Dismantle, has instant limb regeneration thanks to his reverse cursed energy, and can even chain multiple Black Flashes to push his potential higher and higher. During the Shinjuku Showdown, he fought Sukuna for 20 straight chapters, trading blows, landing devastating Black Flashes, and cutting through Sukuna's body while surviving world-shattering attacks. Now, putting him against Season 3 Invincible, this is where things get intense. Invincible is planet-level strong FTL in combat and can survive nuclear scale hits. But Yuji has something Mark doesn't: tactical cursed techniques and soul targeting attacks. Yuji's strategy revolves around getting close enough to land a Black Flash plus Cleave combo, using his domain expansion to restrict Invincible's movement and exploiting soul targeting attacks that bypass raw durability. In a straight-up brawl, Invincible's raw speed and planetary-level durability make him overwhelmingly strong, and Yuji can't match that in raw power. But here's the catch. If Yuji sets the battlefield, confines Invincible's movement, and chains multiple Black Flashes perfectly, he can land hits that temporarily incapacitate or seriously injure Invincible. Add in allies or distractions, and Yuji's chances increase dramatically. Imagine it. Yuji weaving through debris, activating his domain expansion, landing one black flash, then another, the very air around him shimmering with cursed energy, finally landing a cleave straight through Invincible's midsection. Invincible reels back, caught off guard by a human who can manipulate soul and body with precision beyond pure strength. Yuji's endurance means, even if Invincible strikes back with catastrophic force, Yuji reattaches limbs, heals, and keeps fighting, turning every attack into another opportunity to counter. So, while Invincible wins most straight fights due to raw stats, Yuji's cunning, curse techniques, black flash mastery, and soul targeting abilities give him a fighting chance under the right conditions. He doesn't just punch, he outthinks, outmaneuvers, and outlasts, making him one of the few opponents who can truly challenge Mark Grayson. At number 2, we have Eren Yeager. Now let's get this straight. Eren, in his Attack Titan form alone, clearly cannot defeat Invincible. Not even close. His raw strength and combat skills are impressive, but Season 3 Invincible is just too fast, too durable, and too relentless for that. However, here's where things get interesting. As the founding Titan, Eren doesn't just rely on his own power. He controls the abilities of all past Titans. We're talking thousands of colossal Titans, each one towering over mountains, each one capable of raining absolute destruction. Invincible would have to fight them all at once. And that's not even the scariest part. There are 9 founding Titans from the past that can regenerate endlessly, coming back to battle again and again. Imagine Invincible facing an army that literally cannot die. It's overwhelming. And let's not forget one of the most terrifying abilities of the Attack Titan, the power to see the future. If Eren wants, he could predict Invincible's every move, countering him before he even reacts. Strategically, that's insane. Invincible may be strong, but he doesn't have the foresight or the numbers to handle this. Unless Invincible somehow pulls off a planet-shattering feat like Omni-Man did when he destroyed the Flaxen's planet, I just don't see him surviving against Eren with the founding Titan. So here's the deal. If Eren doesn't have access to the founding Titan, maybe the fight is closer. But as long as he does, the battle could easily become one-sided. Invincible would need to rely on extreme luck or a ridiculously clever strategy just to survive. Comment down below what you think would happen in this fight. And remember, Eren can see the future, which makes him even more dangerous than you think. Finally, at number 1, we have Demon King Tanjiro. Tanjiro has already gone toe-to-toe with an upper-ranked demon, Akaza, using his sun-breathing techniques. That alone tells you he's not someone to underestimate. With his demon-like powers and incredible skill, he could absolutely challenge Invincible. But here's the twist. Invincible's durability is insane. Tanjiro's katana or flesh-based attacks likely cannot cut through Invincible's skin, meaning raw attacks alone won't win this fight. And it gets even trickier. Tanjiro is basically immortal in terms of his regenerative abilities. Invincible would have to go beyond anything he's done before, maybe even trying to throw Tanjiro into the sun or some other extreme measure, just to finish him off. That's not just difficult, it's almost unimaginable. Mark would have to fight smart, fight fast, and hope Tanjiro makes a mistake. So again, I want to hear from you. What do you think would happen in this battle? Could Invincible really find a way? Or is Tanjiro just too unstoppable? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think about these matchups. And while you're at it, give me some ideas for the next video topic. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out our other video to see what would happen if Omni-Man tried conquering your favorite anime worlds. This is Heroes Chad signing off.